Amen. We're back on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal. We are your hosts. I'm Rachel, and then we have
Kaz. I was like, what can I do big today? Nothing. That's all you're getting, people.
That's what you get after a weekend of no sleep.
Shenanigans and no sleep. Yeah.
Yes, that was a fun weekend. We got to celebrate our team member Ryan. We got to celebrate his birthday in ghostly style. It was really good. He was quite surprised and absolutely thrilled at what we did. And yeah, can't say much about it because we're sworn to secrecy. But
I think that we should be really proud of the fact that we got away with this because he's a very, very good policeman. And so the fact that we outsmarted him and like his detective skills did not work on us.
Nope.
I can only imagine his poor wife and the interrogation. She's probably like, I'll just sit down for coffee. And he pops up behind her and be like, what are you going on the weekend? And she's like, ah.
Even his kid knew, and he didn't say anything. So kudos to Ryan and Liz's son who didn't say
we pulled it off. We pulled it off nicely. And it was awesome.
It was great. And I wish we could say what we did and where we were and all that kind of stuff. But in all honesty, I think it's good just to have something for us.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? It's just,
and it really was just for us.
Yeah. And it was great. And I want to do it again.
Yeah, I was going to say, when are we going back?
Maybe when it's just a little slightly warmer, or I'm bringing a heated blanket in Ryan's battery pack.
Yeah. And like some sort of clamp for Jay. Or he sleeps somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. So funny. Oh my gosh. But oh my God. Speaking of news and stuff, I just seen this today. And by the time this airs, this might either be old news or it's going to blow up because, oh boy. So everybody knows who Chip Coffey is. Right? Everybody knows who Chris Williams is.
No.
From Ghost Hunters years and years ago. The girl. She had dark hair, long dark hair. She's kind of like the research girl. She was also on like Ghost Hunters International, I believe, as well. Okay.
I probably know her face, but it doesn't ring a bell.
And everybody knows who Tessa Groff is.
Nick Groff's wife?
Yes.
Yes.
The
okay.
Medium. Yeah. Anyways. Okay.
Sure.
So apparently those three are feuding right now. So it's Chip Coffey against those two women. And he's posting all on social media. And he posted this post like a couple days ago when I saw it, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then they commented on it. Like, they did their own post and commented on it. And Chris Williams wrote, wow, this guy is desperate for attention. Ooh. And now he has just exploded online about this and how he has information on both of them that he knows that they would not want to be put out there. And I was like, oh my Lord, you are like a 70-something or whatever year old man? Like, come on, guys, like seriously.
So, sorry, my alarm was going off to tell me to get ready for the podcast.
Oh yeah,
bit late.
For a half
We're
hour.
doing this, slightly early because somebody, me, didn't get a lot of sleep on the weekend and is trying to catch up. Anyways, so what was the post that Coffey originally put out that sparked some?
So, and this could be something like what we're talking about today, is that he posted that he put his phone down in the kitchen or his whatever and walked away. And when he came back, his phone had Lorraine Warren's contact information on the screen because they were friends and he had her like phone number and all that stuff obviously saved in his phone. And that was up on the screen. So he posted like he took it as a sign.
Okay.
And they were just like, he's looking for attention. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's drama. Paranormal drama.
Yes.
But the crap that we had to deal with was bad. This is just as bad.
Yeah, on a slightly like bigger scale. And that's just
I don't post my dirty laundry all over Facebook or social media, even though
So
sometimes I would love to just to get the story straight because, yeah, but nope, I don't do that.
So what you're saying is Chris and insert lady's name. What's
Tessa?
Yeah. Are trying to debunk what he said. You're welcome for the segue. Take it away on tonight's episode.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Speaking of which, tonight's episode is all about debunking. Dun, dun, dun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's including like all this like evidence that's debunked like online, on TV, like all that kind of stuff. And then our own evidence that we've debunked too, because there are times when we've debunked our own stuff. And that's what you do. Because not everything
Honestly,
is a damn ghost.
I was just going to say, I think that's what really sets us apart. One of the things that really sets us apart from the groups out there is that we do debunk. We debunk on the spot, but later on, like how many times have we reviewed evidence days, weeks after we put it out to the team to be like, what do you guys think? And someone's like, oh no, that's blah, blah, blah. And then we debunk it. Like, and I feel like a lot of teams that I've seen out there, it's just straight to it's a ghost where you're right away, you're like, that's a person's shadow. Like you can clearly see that it's not. So I just think kudos to us that we take the time to do that, because that honesty and integrity is a huge part of, you know, our team. And I think that's really, well, listen, we got praised how many weekends ago when we were in that place where she's like, you guys are legit. The last team that came in here were full of shit. So it says a lot. And we all, I think everyone on the team has such a good understanding and trust of the team that no one takes it personally. Because of course we all want to be the one that captures the ghost picture. But when, you know, we put it out there and we're excited and people are like, no, it's actually just this. I don't think anyone in the team we have now has ever been like, what do you mean? And then started going to social media and being like, I've got evidence on these people. They're not going to want to know. So it says a lot about our team and the dynamics of it.
And this is, we did have that before too, where someone had taken a picture and we were like, oh yeah, no, that's just dust because it's a whole bunch of orbs. And somebody who had abilities looked at that picture, looked at all of us and said, those are ghosts. You can't see them. I can. And I was like, nope, that's dust.
Like, yeah, ego really comes into it. I mean, we were just talking about that on the weekend with a certain person who's been in this industry for quite some time, and he's literally imploding because he can't handle, his ego is so big, he can't handle the fact that people are coming in and doing it better, differently, whatever you want to say. And, you know, I don't know if he thinks he runs and owns the paranormal industry, but
we will discuss him a little deeper in some episodes that are upcoming. That's gonna be a fun one.
That's exciting. But yeah, let's get into some of the common, well, you just hit the nail on the head with one, which is, I think every time we do a public investigation, we get the typical, I've got an orb, and then we have to break a heart and be like, yeah, no, that's dust. That's
or water.
Yeah.
Or water. And you know what? The funny thing is, and I'm going to tell everybody to do this or look for it. So a lot of people, spider webs and hairs will look like strings or orbs on camera. And it's really funny because sometimes I notice this. I'll be having a bath and like, you know, you got stray hairs that fall off your head, you know, from the shower when you're having a shower, everything, and you'll find one in your bathtub. Now, if you look at the shadow that hair casts from the light onto like the floor of the tub when it's filled with water, you'll see the little circles. It's a floating orb.
Well, that's funny you brought that up, because remember when we were in the place that shall not be named, and now I start losing my mind because I'm videotaping with my phone, and all of a sudden there is this really cool halo-y thing. It's floating around. It's sort of moving majestically. And I'm thinking, I've done it. I'm capturing a ghost in real time. And I'm like literally losing my mind because it's moving, but not necessarily like I'm trying to debunk it and I just can't. And it just, you came over and you're like, yeah, that's a hair in your lens. And then you pulled the hair off. And I was like, what? But how easy I went from, oh my God, this is a ghost, to just very simply, no, that's just a hair. And you're right. Because it's so sort of see-through. It had like a weird sort of halo-y shape. Like it was really something to look at. And you're right, it was just one of my hairs.
Yep. Or someone's hair.
Yeah. No doubt it was mine. I go everywhere and shed.
Yeah,
I'd be a terrible murderer because they'd be like, yeah, we know who did it because their hair's everywhere. So,
but yes,
yeah.
And that goes as well. Like a lot of the times, and well, a lot in the past, we used to get a lot of emails from people with their photos that they've taken that they wanted us to look at to see if it was paranormal. And a lot of those times they'd be orbs. And we had one who was like not asking us what we thought really of it, but telling us that she had captured the most beautiful angel on camera and all this kind of stuff. And when I looked at the photo, it was a bug. It was a bug. It was.
I just nearly spat my drink out.
It was a bug. Then you can't see the defining features, but the flash illuminated the thing, so it just glowed, right? So someone could be like, "Oh, it's an angel." I would have said fairy just because, but it was a freaking bug. Bugs are not orbs. Orbs do not have wings. For the love
or legs.
Or legs.
Yeah.
Or antennae. Like it doesn't have any of that. Right? So a lot of that stuff you can't say. I'm sorry. What ghost is gonna be like, I'm gonna come back as a mosquito? Like
well, I mean, if you believe in karma and reincarnation, that person did some bad shit and they're
coming back as a bloodsucker. Like seriously. But yeah, there's so many different things that orbs can be. We talk about it all the time. Water spots, sunspots, hair, dust, debris.
Yeah.
Glitter that's floating around, like all that kind of stuff. So,
well, an iPhone has some stupid feature where it does like lens flare. It's a feature in your pictures. So it creates this like yellowish blue orb in your pictures. And I have someone very close to me who every time she takes a picture, there's an orb, and it's just this lens flare feature that iPhone has. I don't know about Samsung if it has it, but iPhone has it. And it's just literally a feature. We actually did a group event a few months ago, and someone came to us. She's like, "Oh my God, I caught an orb. It's floating around." And that's exactly what it was on her iPhone. It was this thing. And she's videoing, so it's like moving as she's videoing. And I was like, "Oh, no, that's just like your lens flare feature." There's also a lot of glass in this place, and it's reflecting off there. And she was not happy with that. So she went to you, unbeknownst to me and unbeknownst to you, and you told her the exact same thing. And she was not happy with that. And she went upstairs and she talked to 2 other team members who told her the exact same. And when she left, she swore blindly she had just captured this orb. And we were like, okay. So we try to do our best to, make sure no one has misinformation before they leave. But it was not.
It happens all the time. Like we get emails all the time. I'm gonna refer back to the one, and I'm pretty sure you and everybody else I shared it with. It was some person who had a house somewhere in the GTA, and they had rented it out to a culturally different family, and this individual had these people move out. And they were convinced that this culturally different family had cursed the house and brought dead people into it, like ghosts and stuff into it. So they sent us photos of shadows and weird things in the house, which turned out to be shadows of a tree because the sun was coming through it on the side of the neighbor's house. But this person was convinced this was demons. And then a picture of, I'm pretty sure, was it a sock on a bed? And they were
I remember it was like something folded up on the bed, and we're like,
yeah. So this is, and it didn't matter how we debunked it. This person was just like, you don't believe me, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, dude, no, I'm giving you the logical explanations because this is how it is. I can see the sunlight. Like I can see it. It's not like just illuminating. Like it's the sun, like casting shadows at the end of the day as it's setting.
I know. And that's a big challenge. I mean, everyone wants to have a ghost picture. Even when they say, like, I don't want ghosts, everyone wants to have them. And so it becomes really hard when someone's convinced themselves and talk to their friends, and their friends like, oh my God, it's a ghost. When we come along and we debunk it. And I get it, but unfortunately, like, we're ghost hunters. Of course we want things to be ghosts. But if we're saying to you, it's not because we're trying to be assholes because we don't want you to have the ghost pic. We would love it if you had a ghost picture. It just reinforces what we do.
Yeah.
But it's, again, we're just not going to let people be misled and just assume that everything's a ghost. Most of the time, there's such a logical explanation.
And see, for us to debunk something that someone sends us, we need a lot of information, like when, where, how, what was going on, was this place clean, was stuff moving, or like, is there a fan, like all that kind of stuff, right? Like you need to tell us all this kind of stuff for us to put together some type of like hypothesis on what this could be or what it is. But yeah, it's just, if you're going to give us misinformation, we're not going to be able to logically tell you whether or not it's real. And most of the time we're on the it's not real side. We're going to debunk it, right? And again, there are lots of times when we've looked at things and we've looked at it, and we are like, hey, we can't figure out any logical explanation for this. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not logical. It's just we haven't found anything at the time.
Absolutely. And how many times do we go back to places like Wildwood where we have that video where we're pretty sure it's like a nurse, and we've gone back and we've tried to debunk it. And just because we can't does not mean that it's a video of a ghost. It just means that we've done all that we can to debunk it and can't. So we kind of leave it open into the air as to, well, maybe it is what we think it is. Same with the lights. The lights, that's a really interesting one because it's like second floor window.
Still can't figure that one out. Like, I think no matter how many times we've tried, like, we just can't figure it out.
Yeah. And again, we're not necessarily saying, oh, it's 100% ghosts. We're just saying it's something paranormal. We just don't know. We just can't explain it.
Definitely unexplained.
But even like, we had a really good instance not too long ago where we had a REM pod going berserk, and we did everything we could to figure out why it just suddenly started going mental. And it had brand new batteries, but we replaced the batteries and we moved it multiple times and it kept going mental. And then eventually we removed it from the room entirely, and then it stopped. And it sat there the rest of the night, turned on, and didn't make a peep. That's really hard. We changed the batteries, we turned it on and off a few times, we moved it from where it was supposed to be, we moved the antenna up, we moved it down. Until we moved it from the room it was in, it didn't go off, right? And so we're like, we're not saying that's 100% a ghost then, but these are the things you really have to, it's exciting when equipment starts going off, but doesn't necessarily mean that right away it means it's a ghost. Half the time we trigger our own equipment.
EMF EMF K2 meters, for example. You stick that near anything electronic, it's going to light up. If your phone rings or goes off when it's in a close proximity to it, it's going to light up. That is not a ghost. That is electronics. That is what that device is actually supposed to measure. Stick that device near a furnace or, you know, an electrical box panel. Like, it's going to light up. Even if you are close to it, it will light up. So that can just tell you there's just a very high EMF reading, which can cause hallucinations and feeling sick and, you know, all that kind of stuff that's kind of associated with ghosts and having, you know, paranormal experiences.
And that kind of brings up a good point of when equipment is starting to die, it will sort of start to go off and stuff.
Yeah.
And again, people start to get excited because things start going off, like the music box. We now know like certain things, like the bell has a certain ting to it and we're like, oh, it's dying. And when we were at that last place a few weeks ago, and we could tell all of a sudden the music box was dying. It was going off and we're getting excited and we're like, okay, this is happening. And then you're like, actually, I think it's dying because just the way it started to sound.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, we changed the batteries and all was right in the world again. So these are things people, especially if you're going to get really serious about this, you really should factor these things in. It's very exciting when stuff starts to happen. But if you're going to be a true investigator, you have to investigate, which means investigating the answers too. You can't just go straight to it's a ghost. And I do think we do a really good job of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think, like I said, we try to debunk it first because that's what we do, right? Like, we want to make sure we're not over exaggerating or over sensationalizing what is going on. We just, you know, we're digging into the experience and trying to figure it out that way, right?
Absolutely. And like I said, we don't want to end up being those people who post stuff and then people debunk it because then you just look ridiculous.
Exactly. Absolutely ridiculous. I'd rather debunk and make fun of my own stuff than someone else. Because then, you know what? I can always say I beat you to it, right? Like,
exactly.
Just like how we post our faces of podcasts. I'd rather post our awful faces before somebody else pauses on YouTube while they're watching us.
Oh my gosh.
And get some great, you know, background pictures.
If you have not gone on to our Instagram and seen the faces of podcasts, you're missing out on a whole hilarious series of things. Because we're fairly animated when we talk. And it shows.
Sometimes even when we're not trying to be, it happens.
How many times am I like, what the heck are we talking about? That I'm like, making some weird ass face. And I'm like, what is going on?
Oh my Lord. Anyway, speaking of pictures, so like when I was looking at like debunking stuff, like I was looking into spirit photography. Like that is a big thing from back in the day. So I did a little research on that. So spirit photography is still around because it is the goal is to capture a ghost or a spirit or some type of paranormal activity on camera, like on still. So this actually isn't something that's new, obviously. It dates back to the 19th century, and that was because it started coming in when the American Civil War ended and spiritualism started taking a hold. It's quite old. So because of that ever presence of death in that Victorian era, it kind of made people really long for information and knowledge that the afterlife existed, right? So back in the day, you had, you know, the spirit photography, people's attempt to capture, but there were two individuals that kind of took this and made it into a business. And one of them was William Mulmer.
Okay.
You heard of the Mulmer photos? Mulmer photography?
That was the one with the ectoplasm? Yes.
No, not that one. No. So William Mulmer, he took the spirit photography and the quest of people to have, you know, photos of their dead relatives, and he made it into a lucrative business for himself. But it didn't last for very long.
Oh.
Yeah. So William Mulmer, he started off as a jewelry engraver, and he was an amateur photographer. But in 1862, while kind of developing his own photos, he supposedly captured the spirit of his cousin who had died 12 years earlier.
Okay.
Now, he published this photo, and the media grabbed a hold of it like they do everything, and it exploded, right? So this is when he left his engraving business, and he started another business, which he called Spirit Photographic Medium. That's what his title was. Spirit Photographic Medium. So he set this up in New York and Boston. He serviced those hoping to find a spiritual connection with relatives who were killed in the American Civil War. Not only does he have those people, his most famous photo is of Mary Todd Lincoln, so Abraham Lincoln's wife.
As a ghost?
Well, not her as a ghost, but him as a ghost after he was assassinated, right?
Oh.
I'll post some of his photos, including that one, on our socials so people can see. But that is it's the most famous photo. But all good things come to an end. The apparent spirits in his photos that he had captured were actually double exposures of previous clients from photographic plates that were improperly cleaned. He knew what he was doing. Double exposure. That's what it was.
Right.
So in 1869, it was discovered that he was a fraud, and he was criminally charged. However, he was acquitted, though, despite all the evidence provided, including how one of his so-called spirits was actually still a very much alive person. Yeah. So there was a lot of people who were totally against him and totally for him. For example, P.T. Barnum, so the circus guy, everybody knows, testified against Mulmer, declaring that he was taking advantage of people's grief. Is the guy who had sideshows in his circus.
But these people were alive.
Yes, yeah. But true believers like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, so your Hounds of Baskerville author, refused to accept the evidence as proof that what Mulmer was doing was a hoax.
Wow.
And guess what? It still happens today. People double expose their photos all the time to be like, look it, I captured a ghost.
Oh, the amount of CGIing and stuff that goes on now, it's like, oh Lord.
Oh, it's awful. AI is awful.
Yeah.
Especially for that kind of stuff. Especially if you're really good and know what you're doing. I, on the other hand, am not good and don't know what I'm doing half the time. So you don't have to worry about fake shit from me. I don't have time to do fake stuff.
Yeah, no. I know, I've seen a lot of videos. This is going to sound, I don't know how this is going to sound. We're about to get canceled. Here we go. My view is if it's like a ghost video and there are Asian people in it, it's fake. Almost 100% of the time. And the reason I say that is because most of the time it's fake. If you are walking through a haunted, or sorry, not haunted, an abandoned tunnel, and something jumps out in front of you, and you're like, oh my God, better get the camera angle straight. Better make sure I capture everything before I turn and run. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And there's so much that comes out of China, Japan. I don't know, that's kind of the thing they're into. I went down this whole rabbit hole of all their fake stuff once. That's why I say it. Not because I'm racist, just because it's and I'm like, so they have all this fake stuff that they do. It's, I mean, I don't want to say realistic because I don't think it's that realistic. But it's just when you're acting, it shows. Big time. Big time. And from my own experience, I'm not saying that when things happen, we automatically scream and run. but we certainly don't try and readjust the cameras or do whatever. To be honest, most of the time when stuff happens, I'm like, and swear and then whatever. But I certainly don't like have no reaction and stand there and then I'm like, oh, now I'll run. Like it's the same. Have you ever, I don't know if you've watched the Blackwell Ghosts. It's a documentary series.
No.
So I saw clips of it on Instagram. I was like, oh my God, I will watch this. And I start watching it, and very early on I go, oh, this is all fake. It's very good fake, but it is all fake. But after a while, I'm like, I know exactly what's coming.
Yeah.
I can tell you right away how he's setting it up for something to happen. And like someone's banging on the door. He never once goes and checks on the door. He doesn't. Oh,
where did you go?
Add effects using hand gestures. Turn on reactions to express yourself.
Oh my God.
I don't even know what just happened.
You disappeared.
Oh my God.
That'd be your hand gestures that made your sparkles and everything.
The Blackwell guy got to me. Yeah, I don't know why that just...
How do we debunk that shit?
We can't. My phone is clearly listening and is like, she's doing the thing with her hands again. Anyways, now I'm a bit freaked out. And that actually brings me to a really good point. And I was going to bring this up on the weekend, but I'm going to bring it up here. So we have really great apps like Spirit Talker. We use Spirit Talker app every single time we do anything. Even when we're not even doing a full investigation and we're just in a cemetery or somewhere, I'm like, putting on Spirit Talker.
Speaking of which, somebody told us we should always have it on while we're doing this. So it's like we have a third host. Somebody said that.
We should totally have done that. Anyways, damn it. I don't have my other phone.
Is it next week? Next week or whatever. Whenever our
we'll figure it out.
One is. We'll put it up.
But we always have that on, and it's a really good one. We have other ones that we use too.
Mm-hmm.
But as AI is creeping into everything, and as phones are listening to everything, it comes to a great question of, are these apps going to start utilizing that so your phone can listen to you and then the answers start generating based on what you say? Because sometimes I watch these ghost shows and they'll have apps, whatever, and it's just way too much on the money every single time. Same with the equipment, where they'll be like, oh my God, can you ring the bell? And then they look and the bell rings. Now, a lot of that could be editing, but, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because we've had times where absolutely the apps have correlated, and not just one, a couple, and we've had stuff going off. So I'm not saying, but for it to happen every single time that you do a thing, every single time you ask a question, every single time you're like, oh, REM pod go off and it goes off, I call bullshit.
Yeah.
So things moving forward, it's going to be interesting to see how much of that starts to be integrated into it.
Yeah.
And how much you can start trusting. Spirit Talker, I think, is great. It's been around for quite some time, so I have no doubt that I don't think that is fake or whatever. And there'll be times the answers that come out, we're like, what the heck is this? And it's just funny. I don't know, whatever. But I'm just, it will be interesting.
Yeah.
To see moving forward.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because then you're not going to be able to believe anything, right?
Yeah. And it's hard sometimes now. So it's kind of like as it is. It is what it is. And we don't try to make it anything it's not. Again,
exactly.
I don't have time to do it. Like literally.
Right.
Like, because when we do public events and we do these like public ghost hunts and investigations and stuff happens that's like, we're like, holy shit, like, oh my God, right? People will ask us, obviously you set this up for us, right? And it's like, no, man, like, I don't have that time. I don't have that energy to jerry rig something to be like, oh, better make these bells ding right now. Like, I don't have no fishing wire. Like, I don't have that time. I'm not that creative. Nor, again.
And to be honest, if we were gonna do that, we would set it up so it happens, crazy shit happens in every single building.
Yeah.
That's not the case. Sometimes
No.
we've done things and we're in a building, we're like, this is the longest 40 minutes of my life because nothing is happening.
Yes.
And you're like, could someone freaking do something? Like, this is horrendous. You actually contemplate killing yourself just so that something will happen and hope that you come back and go. It's like there's there's nothing. And that's why when stuff does happen, we lose our marbles. Yeah. And half the time people are like, what's going on? Why are they freaking out? And we're like, oh my God, did you say that? Because it happens in real time.
Oh, it's great. I love it. But that leads me into my next one. So like we've talked about EMF and spirit photography, orbs and all that. But the biggest one that people have is that pareidolia.
Oh, yes.
That's when, because our eyes and our mind are, they're predisposed to find faces or things of likeness in objects, images, clouds, weird things on the wall, tree limbs, all that kind of stuff, right? Like you're gonna look for something familiar, which is usually a face, right?
Yep.
So there's tons of things out there that is pareidolia. Like we get it all the time. People send us pictures all the time. We're like, nope, that's just nope.
Yep. Same with, maybe you're walking and you see out of the corner of your eye someone standing there. When you look back, they've gone. I don't really believe in that. Like 99.99% of the time. It's just this exact same thing you just said. Your eye catches something and your brain in a fraction of a second. Jesus Christ, I'm having a breakdown. She's glitching, people. In a fraction of a second, your brain has to figure out what it is because your brain wants to problem solve and protect you, right? So it needs to make sure that's not a threat. So let's say you just have a sweater hanging up. Your brain instantly is going to be like, kind of had like a head shape and shoulders. It was this height, had to be a person. So instantly you think, had to be a person. Look back, there's nothing there. It's just like a coat. But you think, no, there was someone there. That has to be a ghost.
Yeah.
So whenever someone's like, I couldn't at the corner of my eye, I'm like, oh, I instantly am just like, yeah, no, it was not a ghost.
Yeah. And for pareidolia and all that kind of stuff, even like when you send us pictures, we always tell people too during our like presentations, like stuff like that. If you have to zoom in more than twice in your photo, you're looking for something that isn't there.
Yeah.
Right? If it's there, you're going to see it even before it's even zoomed in. Zooming in is only good if you're going in like 2 little zooms just to kind of get a more closer look at that section of the photo. But once you start zooming in more and more, it's going to start getting pixelated. And then once it starts getting pixelated, your eyes are going to be like, where's the face? Gotta find the face, right? So it doesn't work. Do not zoom in on pictures more than twice.
And that's why I really like when if someone captures something in our team and we put it out to the team, we generally don't say anything. We'll just be like, I kind of think I see something. What do you think? Because if you say, I see a person standing in the corner, instantly now that's what we're all looking for. But if you just say, I think I kind of see something, what do you see? Same with when we think we hear something. I think I kind of hear something, what do you hear? Because that way, sometimes we get 5 different answers come back. Okay. But if we all come back with the same thing, like I can see a man standing there, that's a good sign. But also having some context that we have, like Ryan's like, I sent this off to a forensic guy and he did a quantum analysis of the really good. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, buddy, I just want to know if it's the dead dog that we see in the picture. Like, so I like that we have those things. Or he'll be like, I sent it to my sound guy and he isolated the background sound with the whatever. And you're like, oh my God. But they come back with some really interesting things. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And it can be hard. Like sometimes, there's a picture we have. Paula took a infrared image of a cradle. And you guys can clearly all see a baby in it. And I don't see anything.
I can't see it. Like, I can't see it.
Oh, I thought you saw it too. Because and that's not to say it's not there, but I was just like, I can't see it, and I don't know what everyone's looking at.
Yeah.
And again, is it because like I just can't see it, or is it because
And my
it's
eyes
not
aren't
there?
trained to look
I
at
don't know.
infrared. She looks at infrared pictures all day, right? Because her other half's business. So I'm if it's not very clear to me, like I don't know what I'm looking at, right? So
no. And
but then we also have that photo that Liz took when we were at Hinsdale the first time, and we were all there by the giving tree.
Oh yeah.
When she took that photo, none of us can explain it, right? Like that's one of those things where we're like, okay, well, it was still light out. It wasn't quite dusk. We didn't have flashlights. There were no flashes on our cameras. Like, is this all reflection off of stuff off the tree? But she didn't take it with a flash on. I'm pretty sure. Like all this kind of stuff, right? Like,
yeah, I don't know, because I was like, there's footsteps coming at me.
You're gone
down the stairs. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. And again, like that's where I think we really excel, is to try and debunk these things as best we can. We don't just see a picture and go, that's crazy, must be a ghost. We're like, wow, that's cool. Let's try and figure out how it's not a ghost to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
And then when we can't figure it out, we're just like, fuck.
Yep.
So it's good. It's good. And it's interesting. Like the massive thud we heard in Wildwood, and we cannot explain it.
Nobody even knows where it came from at this point.
Exactly.
It was up above him. We think it was below us. We're all
but
confused.
I liked when we were talking to Jason on, a few episodes ago. And when he was there, he heard unexplained things that he was like, I'm sure it came from here. I wasn't really sure. So that kind of helps too, when you get other people being like, no, we've experienced something similar. So yeah, it's anyone who's going to do this, or even people who are coming on the public events with us. Like just don't jump straight to it's a ghost. Even in your home. Let's say you're home and you start hearing noises. 99.9% of the time, you got mice.
Or squirrels.
Or the house is settling, or it's the ducks. Like, not quack-wag as in the heating ducks. Like, there's so many things that, but people jump straight to it's a ghost. Because I get it. When you're alone, you're vulnerable. When it's nighttime, your senses are more heightened and you can't see so instantly. Your brain's like on high alert. And if you're already thinking in your head, something's going to jump out at me, you go to an irrational place.
Yeah.
But when you're doing this job and when you're in this industry, you got to kind of come to peace with that. Like the amount of times we were walking around places, we don't often have flashlights on. And it's scary as shit. And we scare each other all the time. By we, I mean me. I scare myself all the time. And it just happens. Or, we trigger our own friggin' stuff going on. But we're all really good at owning up to that. No one's like, oh. And that's very important in a team, because you need to be able to trust each other so that when stuff does happen, we know that it's happening for real.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's a ghost again, but then at least we're like, okay.
And like you said, there could be times when we're actually investigating and we think this is paranormal, and then we go home and we look at it and we actually review or really listen and really watch, and we're like, oh no, it's not, it's something else. That's pretty logical, right? So debunked, write it off, we're good to go, right? So
exactly.
Is it disappointing? Oh yeah, it sucks. But
100%.
But we are being true to ourselves, and we're being true to the industry here, that we're doing this for a service.
Exactly.
And we're keeping it honest, right? So we'll never lie to anybody. And if we do lie, it's because we think it's the truth.
Yeah, then we're not lying, because technically we don't know.
To us, but
but again, the place we went to not too long ago, at the end, we were so highly revered by the person who was there
Mm.
looking after the place. She's like, I can't believe how well you've done this whole evening. She's like, we had a group in here not too long ago, and they bullshitted their way through everything. Like everything was paranormal, everything. Like she's like, some of them said they were psychics, and she's like, 100% of the time they were wrong. They were making stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing here telling them, no, you're wrong. Oh, no, no. This, I'm talking to the ghost right now. They're telling me. And she's like, this is bullshit. And so, she was part of it. And when things went off, like the music box started going berserk and we got all excited. And then we were like, this is going on a bit too long. And then you were like, I think it's dying because of the way it's clicking.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, we changed the batteries and it stopped. Now, it did go off again at other times of the night, but nothing like that. So we kind of debunked that, and she was part of that. Because she got to stay with us the whole night. And I think that just added to our credibility. We got all excited, didn't turn out to be paranormal, but that's part of it. That is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so when things were happening and like on command, it was like even more exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was real good.
Yeah. And she got to ask questions. So these people, like when we go and investigate, let's say a museum, there are people that work there all the time. And we're not investigating because there's no history of paranormal activity there. We're going there because they're like, yeah, we have creep shit here. Come and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to be part of it real time, and they get to ask questions, and they get to talk to these spirits that hang out with them all day. And sometimes you get to put to rest certain things. Like this one place we went to, there was a rumor of some weird shit that happened. And we were doing a necro session with the Spirit Box Act. And very clearly, a man started talking to us and he debunked that very rumor.
Mm-hmm.
And she was right there. She's like, oh my God. She's like, that's amazing. There you go.
See, even the dead help us debunk.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, the dead help us debunk too, right? It's not just the living; the dead do it too. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
We're a team.
Yes, exactly. And so,
and that's just part of it. That's another thing too. Like, it doesn't even have to be about any of this equipment or any like stuff we captured. Sometimes the stories are wrong.
Yep.
And these stories have been told for years and years, but they're wrong. Mm-hmm. And we come in with the research and with our experiences, and we debunk those stories, and we get the truth, the real ones out there. Yep. So that's kind of a cool thing too, because sometimes people like to share things about locations that are kind of not true. So, for example, a location in Picton was once a mental asylum, like an insane asylum. It wasn't. It was a hospital for disabilities, not an insane asylum. But there was those rumors out there, and we went in and we debunked that right off the bat, just to make sure people knew, like, this is not it. Mm-hmm. I have no problem debunking history, or I should say, I have no problem debunking stories with valid history that I can use to validate. For example, we're going to use Langs here quickly. The Keene Hotel has a wonderful story of a couple who lived there with their children and ran the hotel. However, the couple ended up taking in the woman's nieces and nephews because, according to local legend or local stories, their parents had died in a sleigh accident. Well, when you actually look at the genealogy and the genealogical history of that family, those parents didn't die in a sleigh accident. They actually died about 3 to 4 years apart, and I think from illness. So, and different illnesses, right? It's not like one contracted the flu and then the other one, right? So it wasn't that these kids were going to live with their aunt and uncle because their parents just suddenly and tragically died. No, they were going to live with their aunt and uncle because their parents passed away and they had nobody else to care for them at that time. So that's what they did. We debunked that.
Yep.
But well, it's still out there.
With Wildwood, I've seen a few videos there from ghost hunters on YouTube. And they're all like, this insane asylum where torturous things happened. That was never true. That never happened. I won't say who it is, but it's a group. Their whole thing.
Yeah.
They went on this dark, twisted thing about all this torturous stuff that happened in the basement and people were like murdered and bodies are buried. And I'm like, where are you getting this information? That never happened.
It was a bathhouse, not a water torture station.
Yeah. And then it was like their history was so off. And I was like, if I owned that place, I would be like, yo, no.
Yeah,
this isn't like, I get it adds to their thing. And
it's
unfortunately,
is what it is.
Exactly. Like they need to make it more than what it is. And there was some man living in the attic who was killing people and he comes down and tries to choke you.
Oh, that's like Hinsdale with the two brothers that murdered people.
Yeah. And remember how we debunked that one? They literally came through and was like, that didn't happen. And then they thanked us for getting the information out, because how many people have gone there and discredited these two brothers, claiming they were murderers, and that never happened. It was just back in the day, two brothers lived there, and people like, must be weirdos. I bet they kill people, and away they went with the rumors, and that was it.
I don't even think they lived there together. I think they just had the property. One built the house, one lived there with the family, and the other one lived somewhere else.
Right, but
either way, right? We debunked that rumor.
Exactly. We do a lot of debunking. Sometimes the debunking is, this place is not haunted.
That is
and then it's like, sorry, you don't got ghosts.
Yeah. But that's I think out of all of that, that's my favorite, is finding the real story and sharing that.
Of course. And you're so good at it.
I'm debunking the rumors, or like with like paranormal telephone tag is like what I call it. So
yeah. But it's it's so important, because that's part of our tagline, right? Is like, haunting is a history waiting to be told. It's something, I don't know what it is. I didn't memorize it. Don't quote me.
You're good.
Something, history, ghosts, blah, blah, blah.
Haunting is history waiting to be heard.
There you go. Yeah. So basically, that's exactly what you just said, is that we are setting the story straight when it comes to the history. And as I've said before, that really sets us apart from a lot of other groups, is who just go in there, whatever, that's their thing. But we go in armed with information, so that when we have someone that comes through and says, my name's Catherine, we can be like, oh, hi, Catherine. Are you Catherine Smith? Date so-and-so and so-and-so. Imagine being dead 200 years and no one remembers you anymore. And someone comes in and they're like, oh, I know you. You had 6 children, blah, blah, blah. They'd be like, holy shit. It's like,
you're my new best friend.
Exactly. So I think that's so important. And as you know, we just had, when we were in a place, the woman's like, the manager who ran it, who stayed with us, she's like, these people who claim to be psychics, they looked at a picture and they went off on this tangent about how it was a mom and a daughter and they were brutally murdered, or blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, no, that's not it at all. That's 2 sisters that used to live here, and they just had this commissioned one Christmas something, and they had a great life, and they both lived till old age and died naturally. But these people, they went on this thing, and then they're trying to tell her, no, that's not true. This is what happened. So, yeah, it's a lot when you kind of go in willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Because then how can you debunk it if you're making sure that you go?
Yeah, that is very true. There's lots of people out there that like to do that just so they could have their 15 minutes of fame, or that they're number one on the list type thing, right? So it's you got to debunk investigators too, right? Like it's part of what we do. And if you can't sit there and debunk yourself and go over everything that you do, someone else is going to do it for you, and you're probably not going to like what they're going to tell you.
I was just going to say that. Like, if you start posting all this shit, being like, oh, look at this stuff, nowadays the people with all the access they have to all the internet and everything, they're going to debunk you, and then you lose credibility. And once you've lost that, it's so hard to come back. It's so hard to come back.
And I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to debunk this right now. There are no such thing as professionals or experts in the paranormal field. No such thing. There is nothing that you can buy or whatever, no amount of Microsoft Word certificate making you can do that's going to make you a professional or an expert in this field. Done.
Yep.
You cannot. There, unless you are a parapsychologist, which is years of schooling, right? And then it's parapsychology. You're a parapsychologist. You are not an expert paranormal investigator or a professional paranormal investigator. People refer to us as professionals or experts all the time. That's their choice of wording. I don't post anywhere that we are the professional. Like, yes, we act professional when we go into a place because we are, presenting the team. We are, we're coming into somebody's home. You wouldn't act like a twit.
Absolutely.
Somebody's home, right? Or place of business. Like, we call those people Karens. We're not Karens. Right?
You watch it when you say Karen.
Yeah, I know.
We're
Chads. We're no Chads, apparently. But if somebody offers you one of these, like, spend $150 and get a certificate for ghost hunting, no, you don't fall for that crap. You're giving somebody $150 just so they can print you a Microsoft Word document.
Yeah. How many times have we had to show our certification to go anywhere? I think that would be zero. Never once. The thing that gives us credibility is our reputation. And that has taken years of, doing
now you're sounding like the Ghost Adventures intro.
And I can't even think of it. I used to know it off by heart, I think. But yeah, but it's true. Like, and how many times have we gone to a place and they're like, oh my God, we're going to tell, insert name of other haunted building in our little town about you guys because we are acting professionally and we do such a good job and we're thorough and we're good at what we do. Not experts, but good at what we do. And we enjoy doing it.
We have a lot of knowledge. I don't ever say I'm an expert in the paranormal. I have a lot of knowledge and I'm always learning because it's always changing and I'll never know everything. An expert means you know everything. And guess what? It changes every day. So you don't know everything. So you're not an expert. Even these TV personalities are not experts. So wipe that from your dictionary of paranormal terminology.
Exactly.
So that's just me debunking people.
That's
not putting them down, but debunking because it drives me nuts sometimes. So, yeah.
Agreed. But
anyways, that's debunking for you, everybody. We debunked everything from equipment to photos to people to whatever. So if you have, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just for anyone that's looking to sort of do this, go out and be ghost hunted. Always, always, always do your best to debunk. Like, just try and find a logical explanation. And of course, when you're taking pictures, we always say the 3 to 5 rule. So you're taking a minimum of 3 pictures consecutively without changing angles or camera settings, because that way, if you just take one picture and walk away and look at it and there's a shadow, it's really, really hard to sort of do a proper debunk because you don't know the thing. But if you take pictures, 3, and one of them's different, now it's exciting.
Exactly.
But it's good to try and debunk things. Everyone wants that picture of a ghost. But like you said, you post that out there, people are going to rip it to pieces. So you may as well do your best to rip it to pieces first. And when you have whittled it down and you're like, I just don't know what else this can be, then by all means post. Still not saying it's a ghost, but that's the best advice we can have.
Very true. Just ask, what do you think it is? And just listen to people's, explanation as to how they think it's either real or how they debunked it. Right. And then you put your own conclusion together.
Well, yeah, because we're so invested. We want it to be a ghost. So someone coming from the opposite side of the table who maybe doesn't believe or is just generally whatever on the fence, they might see something different, because just like you said earlier, your brain wants to see what it wants to see. So if you're so focused on it's a ghost, it's a ghost, it's a ghost, you can't let in other possibilities.
No.
Whereas someone else might see it and be like, oh, that's just the way the fence is shaped differently, whatever. And then you might be like, ah, shit. And it sucks when that happens. You do have an oh shit moment. But then you have done your due diligence, and that's what will make you a good.
And it just makes you want to go get more.
Exactly.
But if you have a photo or something you want us to look at and debunk it or tell you what we think about it, you can send it to us. We'll be completely honest with you. We're not going to be mean. We're honest people. You can post it on our Facebook. You can, post it to Instagram, send it that way, or you can email it to us at paranormalpodcast@gmail.com. That's PAREHNORMAL podcast@gmail.com. Like, we'll look at it. But even if you've had an experience where you thought it was something, explainable, it turns out it wasn't, or you thought it wasn't and it turns out it was, hey, we'd love to hear those experiences and how you figured that out. Because, it's fun. Anyway, we are off. When this will air the day after our first event of spooky season, which is happening. Oh my gosh. I know, when this airs, which would happen yesterday, which was also National Ghost Hunting Day. I know. So our spooky season has started for the next 7 weeks. We are busy every single weekend.
Yeah. And days in between.
Some days in between. Yeah. But if you're looking for events, check out the Paranormal Seekers website and their event page, and they will have all those events there for you. Some of them are already sold out, so I'd have check quickly. And if you want tickets for some events, to get them fast, because our Langs one is already sold out, and that sold out in 3 or 4 days, not even.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Love it.
Love it.
Anyways, everyone, have a great week. We are off, and next week I think is Canadian Ghost. Is it Canadian Ghost? Maybe
I don't know.
I can't.
I never know until I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I got to research some stuff.
Anyways, you'll enjoy next week's episode just as much as you enjoy this one. So
absolutely.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.